What's up, everybody? Welcome to Offsides Podcast. You know, we out here again. Today's August 1st, Hall of Fame game, the beginning of the new season in a sense, right? Because it's the first game that we're going to be watching or having playing in the background. Pete, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm good. Didn't think I'd make it, but I'm here.
I'm glad you are. June, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, Pete? What's good, bro? I haven't seen you in a while. I feel like you've been going off season. The season didn't
What's
even
up,
start
June?
yet.
Yeah. What's going on? I'm back. I'm back.
That's
Yeah.
good, bro.
Oh,
Good to see you guys back.
Football's back.
That's
it
it.
is back. It is back. It feels good. So let's get to it, bro. Let's talk about the game today. Caleb Williams not playing. Do you agree with that decision? Yes or no, Pete?
I'm not a preseason fan, and as you can see lately, a lot of these coaches don't put any of the players to play anymore. I went to a preseason game years ago, like I think it was Jets Giants, I think it was, and none of these guys were playing, and I was just like, why am I here? And I've felt like that about preseason ever since, bro. Preseason just isn't. I know it's like the official start of football, but it's not my thing. So I'm not surprised.
June, do you think that it would have benefited him just to get a few reps in there? You know, like I'm not a fan of preseason either, and a lot of people getting hurt. Look, we're going to talk about two players that just got injured today practicing, right? So, how do you? I mean, what's your take on it? I know preseason, and I know this game they're not trying to take nobody out either. Would you have game to start or no?
I'll tell you what, man. I'm not a huge. I agree with both of you guys. But it being the very first game of the year, and I get it. It's just a preseason game, but it's a Hall of Fame game. I think a lot of us fans are excited, and I don't want you to play the whole game. Hell, I don't even want you to play 4 full snaps. But then give me 1 or 2 snaps. You know what I mean? I don't care. Give me a Hail Mary for the first snap. Who cares? But I don't know. I think it'll be kind of cool just to go out there and don't do nothing crazy. But I think it being the Hall of Fame game, um, just make it somewhat of something. If not, just call it the preseason opener or something. Change the name.
So okay, I'm glad you said that. I'm typing this in here. So, okay. So now I say give him a few snaps, like you said. Not even maybe one drive, 4, and that's it. Get him out of there just to get kind of going, get the feel for it. But you know, we don't want to take a chance in hurting our first our number 1 pick overall, right? Or some guy trying to get crazy out there. I'm gonna take out Caleb, and next thing you know, I need to make a 53-man roster. Let me take out Caleb Williams, and now they hurt the franchise. So I kind of get that, but leading to a more veteran player, who got hurt just 4 plays into the season last year. His running on the field with the American flag was a lot longer than what his play on the field was before he got injured. And I'm talking about Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Robert Saleh said he's not taking any snaps during the preseason. Now, if he never got injured, I'm going to say he doesn't need it. We're talking about a 20-year vet, 4-time NFL MVP, 1-time Super Bowl champ. I think Super Bowl MVP too that year. You know, arguably one of the best throws of the ball that we've ever seen. With so much experience, doesn't need it. June, do you think that they should play him, being that he hasn't got any snaps since September of last year?
Nah, maybe yeah. I don't know. Maybe 1 or 2, but I think at this point, someone with 20 years in the game, um, I think with that type of tenure, I think you're able to salvage the preseason. So it's a 50-50 with this one, but I don't know. I think with him in particular, it wouldn't be a bad thing for him. It wouldn't hurt for him to go out there and do a couple of drives or maybe one, but definitely it wouldn't hurt not to put him out there.
So, you know, and I agree. I don't think the reason I brought it up, Pete, is because they got new pieces in the offensive line. They got some new pieces in the offense. He hasn't played with them. You know, he missed the mandatory camps. Um, I'm not saying he got to play every game all the way through, but I'm just saying like a few snaps. What's your take on it?
Because because we brought up that the fact that he's a veteran. I mean, he's Aaron Rodgers. He's got 4 MVPs. He's played in the league for a long time. I'd leave it up to him. I'd leave it up to him. If he wanted to play, then I'd put him out there. I know he's got like something where he said about Robert Saleh is news to me. So I don't know. But I would leave it up to him. That's a veteran move as far as letting him make the decision to play.
I like that take. I like it. Leave it up to him. You know what I'm saying? He knows what he should do, what he shouldn't do. You know what I mean? What he can and can't do. I just think there's so much stuff around Aaron Rodgers in this whole situation. And some people have said that the lack of practice during mini camp or training camp and preseason can hurt you in the beginning of the season. They brought up comparisons to like Joe Burrow when he's been hurt and doesn't practice in the preseason. They start off slow and it takes a while for the chemistry to get going because you didn't build it in the off season, in the training camp and preseason. You do you think do y'all think there's some validity to that? You know what I'm saying, June?
As far what? As far as which part? I'm trying to understand.
I'll rephrase the question. How
Yeah.
about if it's the Eagles? Let's say Hurts got hurt and he didn't play. Now he's coming back. Would you want your quarterback out there getting some snaps to build some consistency with the players and not waiting until the first week, second week, third week of the season, you know what I'm saying, to build that consistency?
Right. I think ultimately me being the head coach, it'll ultimately come down to how they look during the mini camps and the training. Because if they're looking a little rusty, then I think I'm gonna have to make that judgment call and say, hey, nah, man, I need you guys in the field because you guys obviously didn't put the work in during the off season, given the situation last year. So that's what I would base it off of, to be honest with you. All depends how they look in the off season and during the mini camp.
What about your team, Daniel Jones, right? Was hurt, kind of struggling. Would you play Daniel Jones?
That's depends because of the severity of his injury. Like he, blew out his knee. You know what I mean? That's one of that and an Achilles, I think, is one of the one that you're officially out for the year. Like you're not back. You're not seeing him till next year. And you do want him to get reps. I don't think it's something like, oh, keep him out because he could get hurt. Well, he can get. There's guys who get hurt in practice, so it's not a question of keep him out of the game because that's the only place he's going to get hurt. But yeah, I think at some point you have to, and like June said too, maybe a couple of drives, but none. You ain't putting him out there for the whole game. I know the third game is usually the one that they keep him out there, maybe for the half, and so that'd probably be the game I'd keep him out there for as long as in any other game in the preseason would be the third game.
See, for me, I would want my team to put. I know Drake May's not starting for us. It's going to be Jacoby Brissett, but I would put Drake May out there to get the reps. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I hope they don't start him week one. We seen crazy as shit, but I would want him out there getting the reps, not Jacoby Brissett. You know what I'm saying? Let him get familiar. Let him feel the real time. People coming at him, not your teammates. Because like they said, even at practice, the defense can't come within a certain radius of the quarterback. If not, they'll blow the whistle and tell you, hey, Pete, get back. You're getting too close. You know what I'm saying? You're getting too fancy. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. And I mean, I would play Drake May at least. Excuse me. We've been talking about contract talks, I think, for the last couple of weeks. People getting paid, people not getting paid. Last week, Pete, we talked about, the 49ers with Ayuk and Trent Williams. And I kind of want to go back to that a little bit to get your take on it. Me and Drew spoke on it. I said Trent Williams being a little selfish to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he knows that Ayuk's trying to get paid. And he knows next year Purdy's going to get paid. And you come out, you're the left tackle. You're the best left tackle in the business, right? Let's just say he's the best one. The only one to ever get a 99 rating in Madden. And you come now and say, hey, I want extra money. I want an extension. And they're going to pay you. They have to pay you. What's your take on that move right there? And what would you do in that situation?
It sucks because we don't know we don't know if they've had conversations, if they if they promised anything to him, kind of like Hassan Reddick with Jets. From what I read, they had said, yeah, we're gonna give you, or Hassan Reddick agreed to come to the Jets on the trade without getting an extension, and then he changed his mind. So we don't know if they've had that kind of conversation with Trent Williams, like, yo, let us take care of these guys, then we'll take care of you. But he's not as young as these guys. He may be trying to get his last big payday before he retires. I think he spoke about retiring before the last time they lost in the Super Bowl, something like that. He's been in the league for a while. Ayuk and Purdy have not been. So I get it. But what you're getting at, I guess, is kind of sacrifice for the good of the team. But I don't know if a lot of players are worried about that because they're getting their ass beat every week. They're putting their bodies out there every week. So he's probably more concerned with himself and not the team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but what you said, you thought it was selfish, but I got to look at it as business, man. This is his job. We kind of forget these guys. This is these guys' livelihood, and the same way we have jobs, this is their job. It's just their job is on TV. It's to entertain us. So we kind of lose sight of that fact sometimes. But he's probably just looking out for himself because he probably feels this is almost the end of the line for him.
No, I agree, and I appreciate you bringing that other aspect to it because that's what me and June were talking about last week. Is mostly the see. I'm big on championships, bro, and I had this conversation with a 49er fan earlier today, and he felt the same way I felt. Like it was kind of messed up that you wait till now when you could have brought this up before. But again, we don't know if they had these conversations, right? But I'm about trying to win. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are not going into the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to make it. But that having that ring matters. You know what I'm saying? Being a part of a Super Bowl team matters. And I feel like like I said, James White, for example, our running back, he wasn't like the best running back out there. He was a pass catching back. Got 3 Super Bowls though. He should have been Super Bowl MVP at 51, to be honest. But he'll never make the Hall of Fame. But you can't mention one of the greatest comebacks and if not the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history without him running in for a few touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Especially the game-winning touchdown. So I feel like you gotta, like you say, he's getting older. So at what point, what's more important, the championship or the payday? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. It's
when you bring up James White, but let's say James White, right now, he never had one of those big contracts.
Mhm.
Right now, he probably's like, damn, you know what? I would prefer one of them big contracts because I'm about to bump these Super Bowl rings because I need the money. I'm not playing no more. So we don't know what's important to these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of these guys don't like, I'm able to get this. I'll play football because I'm able to get generational wealth. But is it really that important to me? No. Now, everybody's not Tom Brady where they can get both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brady's not gonna sell his rings, you know what I mean? But he got money. He doesn't need that. But you see the little guys like James White, that's a different conversation.
And we don't know if James White is broke, people. We just
yeah, I'm not saying that either, but
like, he's made his little bit of money, but not money like that. And that's a good point too. What I told my friend today was that I felt that with the championships comes money too, right? I mean, would Brady have gotten a $300+ million contract with Fox if he didn't have the 7 Super Bowls? Like a lot of these guys on TV, like, Troy Aikman, when he got the contracts he got if he didn't have 3, you know what I'm saying? So it goes, I think the rings bring money. Look at Mahomes, bro. You can't turn your TV on without seeing Mahomes on a commercial. Like the dude is out there, 3 Super Bowls and he got commercials out the butt. You know what I mean? So I think I think the rings bring it. So transitioning from that, we're talking about contracts. Dak and CD are waiting for money. CD's not at camp. He's holding out. Do you see this getting resolved before the beginning of the season? Pete.
CD, yes, because if it just sucks that these type of things when they hold out and then they sign into the season like 2-3 games into the season, they usually end up getting hurt because they haven't had, the type of, everyday practice that they would if they were in camp. I know he's still training, but you never know. And Dak, I don't think it is. I think the Dak one is the more complicated one because he's gonna be the highest paid quarterback ever. Jordan Love and Tua just got paid. He's gonna top those two because he's, it's that next in line thing. He's already making 40, so he's gonna try to top them. But I think CD Lamb is next to get his contract. That one gets done. I think Dak, it doesn't.
Okay, June.
I agree with Pete. I think they're gonna just let Dak's contract play out. He's gonna make his 30 million or whatever he's gonna make, and they're gonna eventually sign CD because I think they'll be crazy not to. However, I think it's very sad that it's taking this long to let CD not sign a contract by this point. I think he's overtaken that star title as a player in Dallas. And we talked about this last week. And I think CD has earned that title as the go-to player in Dallas. When the fans go to Dallas, he's the player that I think he shows out week in, week out. And again, they made the mistake by letting Amari Cooper leave, and they'll be silly to do it again with CeeDee Lamb.
So CD's homegrown. They drafted him. You know what I'm saying? And I just, to me, my issue with this is this, right? So we had this conversation last week, Pete, and I'm pretty sure you saw it. Jerry Jones, he's always talking to the media. That motherfucker talked to he's the only owner that talks so much to the media. You don't see nobody else doing this, but he does it. He said he's all in. They're all in to win the Super Bowl this year. They say that every year, to be honest. But this year he said a little slower. He was like, we're all in win the Super Bowl this year. Is it giving all in when he's not even paying the best weapon he has? And you got Micah Parsons coming up to get paid. So what's
you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking. Do you think?
Oh, my bad. Nah. They had a good year last year. They had a good defense. I mean, they lost the coordinator, but they got experienced coordinator back. I think this Mike Zimmer is the coordinator. It's not all in, being that they have a contender in their own division, a legitimate contender in the Eagles in their division. The Eagles went all in. The Eagles signed both their receivers. They signed Saquon. I mean, I know they lost, Kelsey, Fletcher Cox, I believe, retired as well. So, but the Eagles are more all in than the Cowboys. The Cowboys, Derrick Henry said he wanted to go to Dallas. They never even called him. They're gonna put Zeke back there.
Yeah.
And he's coming, and he just, he's not the Zeke that we're accustomed to. So them being all in, I mean, they could say it, but I think everybody else who's watching from the outside doesn't believe it.
Yeah, it's not given that for me. Me and June spoke about it last week. June, the Cowboys are on a bit of a pickle, man. They are. They got to pay CD if they want to stay consistent. You got to make a choice on Dak, whether he's the quarterback of the future or not. And like Pete said, he's going to demand $60+ million a year. And then you got Micah Parsons, who I'm not big on Micah, to be honest, just me. But he's probably the second best player on the team. He's probably the best player on defense. What you think they should do, man? I mean, your guys, Eagles. You brought up the Eagles, and I'm glad you did. They're the perfect example of identifying what I need to do early. Let me do it early and save money. Devontae Smith got paid early. A.J. Brown got extended early. Jalen Hurts got paid right after the Super Bowl, that year. They took care of it all early, which allows them to spread the money out and not have to worry about these contingencies or these problems later. What's your take on it, June?
It's crazy as it sounds, right? I think one of the biggest key pieces that Dallas has, it's not even a player. I think it's a coach. I think that Mike McCarthy, believe it or not, I think he's pretty underrated as a head coach because he keeps making it happen with the poor decisions that Jerry Jones keeps putting in place. And um, yeah, I'm a Dallas hater. I hate Dallas, right? But reality is reality, right? Mike McCarthy led the Cowboys back-to-back seasons to some type of stardom, and Dak Prescott shit the bed. He that was the player's fault. So I think at this point, man, yeah,
June, you broke up. He's driving.
I'm going to this spot. All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's just that one zone right here, this little bridge. But I think we all know what the problem is in Dallas. So I think that the key points over there, in my opinion, are the high point is going to start with the head coach, and the low point is going to be 100% with the owner slash president slash GM slash everything.
So my question,
And as long as he's there, we're always going to have this conversation.
so I got another question for you, right? And I'll throw this one at Pete. If he knows, right, and I think it's safe to say that they don't think that is the quarterback of the future. If they thought that, they would have paid him, right? Then why not go out in the draft and try to trade up to get one of these quarterbacks? Actually, some of these guys went in the second round. So you could have got another quarterback, drafted them, let them sit behind him for 1 year, and then started him next year. They haven't spent money on free agency, right? We can argue they didn't need a lot of help. They were 12-win seasons for 3 seasons in a row. They won the division twice, I think, in that time. So why not do that?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, Frank. I'm not hearing you call. I'm not hearing you call on me.
No, you good.
I don't think it's that they don't want to pay Dak. I think it's the fact that what he's going to get paid is complicated things, and the fact that they got to pay these other two dudes, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. So I don't think it's that. It's to me, it's not that. It's not that they don't want him. It's that the amount that they're going to have to pay him. They waited late to pay him last time for his first big contract. That's why he got the record-setting contract that he did at that time. It looks like they're late on paying everybody, except for Zeke. And Zeke held out and he gave in and was a running back. And then what happened? They ended up cutting him 2 years later or 3 years later. It's not, to me. It's not Dak. It's how much he's going to get. And as far as just drafting a quarterback, I think we try to make it seem easier than what it really is. They got Trey Lance, who they traded for. He's young. Maybe they still want to see what he got. And Cooper Rush, I believe, is the backup.
Mm-hmm.
He's number 2 on the depth chart in front of Trey Lance. So they probably feel, let's see what Trey Lance has, because that's kind of like a draft pick too, because he's still young.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, and trading up. If you watched Hard Knocks, these dudes wasn't trading out of the top 3 picks, bro.
Oh, yeah, I know that. No.
Yeah, these dudes was not trading, So I guess next year is going to be the year they're going to have to reset if it doesn't happen for them this year.
Yeah, I think so too. Watching Hard Knocks is kind of pivot a little bit off that. It's one of those things, man, that kind of gives you insight on the preparation to draft night, And it's funny because I don't know about you guys, but I know when I do draft for fantasy, I have a list of what I'm looking for, what I want when I want it, and if it goes off, then I have to pivot. And it was kind of similar to the same thing, right? When they were getting to them later rounds after they got Neighbors, They were like, oh, we want this defensive player. He was gone. This next one gone. All right. So now those two are gone. We need to go with these two. And they got those two. So I think it was dope to look at it that way. And they wasn't trading. And, you know, Giants took some phone calls. They took 2 calls. It wasn't worth them losing on Neighbors. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. The juice wasn't worth the squeeze for them. You know what I'm saying? To give up that, 6th-round pick in the first round, but something that wasn't worth it for another team. I get it.
Well, the Colts wanted to trade up to
Mhm.
6 from 15. Now they didn't even offer their first round pick next year. They said second round pick next year. So I think if it was a first round pick, maybe, but he wasn't interested because of Neighbors and because I think he didn't offer enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I would have offered if I wanted that. If I want anything above 5, anything between 6 and up, even 5 and up, I'm offering more than just that because you're giving up that team is giving up something.
Yeah.
Obviously, they need it. They're that high up, you know. So I was watching the pivot today, and this isn't part of the topics, but I want to kind of get your point of view, and I'm gonna tie it in with Dak too, because I think these 2 quarterbacks are pretty similar, except one gets paid all the time. I don't know how, but he does it. Raheem Morris was on there with the pivot. Now, you know, he's the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. They asked him about why he brought Kirk Cousins in. So I didn't know that Raheem was at Washington when Kirk was the backup. And, you know, Ryan Clark was there too. So he got to see Kirk there. And then he said he compared Kirk's situation to Matthew Stafford's situation, where you had Stafford in Detroit, you know, good quarterback, just bad franchise, bad team, could never make it past the hump, goes to the Rams, and boom, instantly. And, you know, Raheem was there when they won the Super Bowl as the defense coordinator. So he compared that to Kirk Cousins, saying that that's what he sees as well. A quarterback with good talent, good enough to win, just maybe not the right situation, coming to Atlanta with all the weapons they have and how they're proposed in the division they're in, and that could be him. I'm gonna start with June on this one. June, do you think that comparison is fair, or how do you feel about that?
So I caught the tail end of the Dak and you said Stafford comparison.
It was Kirk Cousins and Stafford.
Kirk Cousins, I'm sorry. I don't think so, and I don't know. I know that I don't know. I know you and I have had different conversations because I'm not. I know you're not like a huge Kirk Cousins fan, right? That is true. Is it fair to say?
No, I think he's okay. He won me over in quarterback last year. He did win me over on the quarterback.
Yeah, but you wasn't a big fan of the money he got paid.
Oh no, hell no, no.
Right.
No.
And with me, I don't think he should have gotten paid that much, but I thought it was okay. You know what I mean, compared to everybody else. Now, but no, I don't know, man. The thing that Stafford has over Kirk is the Super Bowl. You take away that Super Bowl, and you know, then they look the same.
But what's your take?
Wait, hold on. But ultimately, to get back to the question, so what was the question so I could target the answer?
So he basically said the reason he went with Kirk Cousins and they got him is because he's seen Kirk in Washington. You know, Kirk can win. He thinks that Kirk could be like Stafford. Coming to Atlanta where it's probably a better situation. I don't know how, but a better situation than when he was in previous. And now he can win it all. You know, he can get a chip. He compared it to Stafford leaving Detroit and going to LA. So I'm asking you, is it can you see that, or do you agree or disagree with that ideal?
I 100% agree with the statement and disagree with the team.
Okay.
I think that he could have a Stafford moment, but the difference is, and you and I both know it, Pete, you know, you probably agree as well. What do you call it? The Rams went all in that year. They gave away their kids' clothes, you know, and Atlanta didn't. They just shit. You see what they did? They drafted another quarterback. So, and for that reason, I don't think that he'll win a chip.
And so, not to Pete, I'm gonna throw it back at you. Pause. In a sense, like,
I thought the same shit. I was like, yo.
I got it. I ain't forget. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Be in
shit.
the
No,
same
you gotta
mind.
say no Diddy though. You gotta
Yeah,
say
no
no
Diddy.
Diddy.
I got you. So now Dak, you know, when I was watching Speak, Shady said maybe Dak going to another team won't have the pressure of the star in the helmet, you know, and he can probably play better. It's less stress. I kind of compare it to when people come to the Yankees sometimes, right? You got these stars that they'll leave their team, come to the Yankees, and you know, the Yankees is a big brand, and they start struggling. And is it the lights of the city? Is it the pressure from being in the best, you know, baseball organization ever? You know what I'm saying? Or is it, you know, so Dallas is that. Dallas is the most, what is it, the most valuable organization in sports in the billions. I don't know how they're better than the Yankees. I don't get it, but you know, they're better. And now you come there that, you know, look, they're always in the talks of going to the Super Bowl. They get the most publicity. They're like you know, they haven't done nothing over 30 years. Do you think that that could be that, like a Stafford, go somewhere else and potentially have success enough to go win a game or win a Super Bowl?
No. I'm a Stafford dude, yo. That there's not a lot. I feel he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league right now. And I know he's not, he doesn't get a lot of the attention that Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson get. But to me, there's not a lot that's on the same level as Stafford. He was I think a great quarterback, went to the perfect situation for him. Now the Falcons, they didn't go all in like June said. They were trading. There was the meme that said fuck them picks for the GM because they was trading away all their picks. Atlanta didn't go all in, but I think they look at Kirk Cousins as like the final piece because
Mhm.
they have the pieces on offense. They got one of the best offensive lines. So Kirk Cousins, I could see him possibly having a good run. Dak, I don't think he's as good as these two. For
So
me, it's Stafford, Cousins, Dak. And Dak, I don't think whatever team he was on a good team last year.
yeah, they had all like 9 all pros and shit. Like they was up there. So let me ask you a question then, and I'm glad you brought that. It's giving us content. What makes Dak and Cousins different? Now, before you answer that, I don't believe Raheem Moore is comparing Kirk Cousins to Stafford is fair. And because you're right, he doesn't get talked about much now. But when Stafford came out and was playing in Detroit, Stafford was doing all the throws that Mahomes is doing now. You know what I'm saying? People back then were saying, well, if you get that man on a team that has a chance, they can win. You know what I'm saying? So let's be clear. Stafford is a talent. You know what I mean? I would say he's up there with, you know, people say Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest throwers of the football, and I think
So
Stafford's up there
Stafford.
with him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, we could talk about that too. We could debate that too. I wouldn't argue because, you know, but and what makes to me, Kirk Cousins and Dak are the same, except Kirk Cousins gets paid.
Well, I told somebody, I think this was at work. I told somebody Dak is the next Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins played on 2 franchise tags, then he got his contract from Minnesota. He got 2 contracts from Minnesota, then he got his contract from Atlanta. So Dak just got one of the biggest contracts. He's gonna get another one right now. Now, to me, they're both the same. They haven't gone far in the playoffs, and they put up numbers in the regular season. But again, I don't think they're scrubs at all. But I think they've played the game, the business part. They've played the right way, and they're gonna maximize their contracts, and good for them. But like June said, the championship is not there. And I think Kirk Cousins has a better chance at a championship than Dak does because Dak's next year is going to end up going to a team that needs a quarterback. Whether it's a team that's a quarterback away, I don't know. Will it be a better situation that he's in now? Remember, like you said, how many All Pros did they have last year? They got bumped in the first round. So what better? And then if he goes and takes up a big part of the salary cap by getting 60 million, how good is the team going to be?
That's true. That's true. June, do you believe that any one of these quarterbacks can lead a team to a Super Bowl? Now, mind you, and this is me throwing you a scenario. Let's say we get the 2000 and what was the 2000 Ravens? Was that the Ravens only allowed 21 points the whole playoff? Right?
I think it was 26.
26, right? So and Trent Dilfer threw for 1 yard in that Super Bowl and still won. So June, what if they can get a team like, what if they get a defense like that? An all-time great defense up there with the Ravens, up there with Pete, help me out. Any other defense that was out there that was great?
Bears.
Bears, Legion of Boom with Seahawks. You get that kind of historic run. Can Dak lead him to the promised land, or Kirk Cousins?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that Kirk would have the edge on Dak, man. I think that last year's performance in the playoffs, the way that Dak folded, really showed a lot about what he could have done, because I think that team was poised to do something in the playoffs last year. They seem very well connected in the offense. I think the defense was playing well, and they were coming along at the perfect time. They just seemed like connected, and Dak looked like he was playing like a MVP caliber quarterback. Hell, throughout the entire season, to be honest with you. And then he gave away that game again when it mattered the most, and that was in the playoffs. And I think when it comes down to, when you compare the two, I think when it comes down to the points, when it comes down to the point that we're given, I think that I think it was the defense that gave away the game when the tables were turned, and it was Kirk behind the helm. So that's why I say, given the right talent and players in position, I'll give the slight edge to Kirk Cousins over that.
I would give it a Kirk too, to be honest with you. I would. I like Kirk Cousins. I do. He grew on me during the quarterback the first season on Netflix. And I think there's something about him. He's a good guy. I'm not saying that Dak isn't a good guy. I like Kirk Cousins. I like what I saw. I just don't think he should get paid as much money as he does. But I don't think any quarterback. You mentioned Tua earlier with Jordan Love. Tua got paid $52 a year. Jordan's up there with 55. And what did they do? What did they do? I mean, honestly, it's so frustrating to see these quarterbacks that haven't done anything get this much money. Now, mind you, I'm okay with Jalen Hurts getting a bag. I'm okay with Joe Burrow getting a bag. I'm okay with Brock Purdy they've been to the Super Bowl. At least they've been there. You know what I'm saying? At least I know you can get me there. These other guys haven't even had that.
But why does it bother you?
Because, bro, it's like, are you paying them for, so you're paying mediocre or good elite money. So why do I have to go out there and be great? Why do I have to go out there and try to be the next future of quarterbacks that we saw in the 90s, 2000s? You know what I'm saying? To be competitive. It's like now you can go out there and, barely have a winning record and you're going to get the most money. But
why does Josh Allen get paid? He hasn't done nothing.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. But notice how the people I mentioned were the people that been to the Super Bowl, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no. Yeah, I got that. And then Lamar Jackson, he's got 2 MVPs. I get it.
Yeah.
But what I continue to say is quarterbacks get paid because of the position. It's kind of like musical chairs. When the music stops, I want to have a place to sit. If I don't have a place to sit, the Raiders, the Giants are in limbo with freaking Daniel Jones because they don't know what the fuck they're gonna get this year out of this guy, and he's making a lot of money. So if it's not gonna happen with him this year, they're gonna cut him. The Raiders don't got nobody. The Patriots, they're already saying that May is struggling. This guy, the 6th round pick, is maybe better than May. So they'd rather pay that because that's the going rate for quarterbacks, and be stable at the position and not be in the position where these other teams are at.
Yeah.
So every quarterback is going to get paid. Look, Dak hasn't done anything either. He's going to be the highest paid quarterback in the history of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what. Do you think they should do a separate cap for quarterbacks? Because right now, these wide receivers, these running backs, these people are not getting paid. So, for example, is Dak the best player on his team?
No.
Exactly.
But he plays the most important position.
I know, I get that, bro. I do. I understand that part of it. I just don't agree with it.
No,
and
I
I
get
hate
it.
to see it because, and you got to think, we came up in an era where you had quarterbacks that actually are winning Super Bowls, right? Besides the Patriots stopping certain people, you got Eli 1-2 in that time slot. You got Peyton 1-2 in that time frame. Ben Roethlisberger 1-2 in that time frame. Joe Flacco 1-1 in that time frame. Aaron Rodgers 1-1. Who else? Russell Wilson 1-1. In the time frame where the Patriots dominated for so long, there was teams and people that still won Super Bowls and never got paid like that. Like, to me, Patrick Mahomes should be saying, listen, I want 70 mil a year. And I could get that because I just proved to you I can win with anybody. I just did it.
But we brought up earlier when I said, what's more important to him? He's already got money.
Yeah.
The important thing to him is the rings.
Yeah, he said
so
it.
It's all the mindset as well. Dak can say that he wants to be a Cowboy or wants to win all he wants until he's blue in the face. But if he's going to command the top dollar every time he gets a contract extension, then he's full of shit.
Yeah, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get
He's all about money if he's demanding top dollar. You see, Mahomes ain't stressing it, and Brady didn't stress it. And what happened? They got rings because they worried about the team around them.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I'm glad you said that. We're on the same page there. You know what I'm saying? It throws me off. All right, well, moving along, man. Because we got just 2 more topics to go, a few, and we can go. And the game already started. It looks like a good game too, by the way. Even these second strings are playing pretty good. Do you think there's a team that can give the Chiefs a problem in the AFC? I'm gonna go with Pete first, and then June. And if so, what team is it that you think can give them a problem?
I don't know. I'm curious to see the Jets. There's, Aaron Rodgers coming back. Breece Hall is ready to break out. Like, he had a great year last year, and this is with Zach Wilson as the quarterback. And I forget who was quarterbacking in the last couple of games, but they got Garrett Wilson. There's a lot of hype around them. They're describing their defense as elite. Again, I want to see the Jets. I'm curious to see, and Jets. The Jet fans haven't. There's a lot of their fans who haven't seen a championship ever.
No,
and you would think they won like the last 3, the way they're talking. But I'm curious to see the Jets. If they do live up to the hype, then I think the Jets could. They got a Hall of Fame quarterback. They got a young roster. So I'm curious to see the Jets. If they live up to the hype, I would say the Jets because of their defense and what they got coming back at quarterback.
Do you think the Jets is a team? June, who you got?
I take it off mute, man. I'm about to talk and stuff. I don't know, man. Did we talk about the Ravens?
Nah, we ain't saying nothing about the Raiders. You tell me what team you think is a threat to the Chiefs.
I mean, I thought honestly, it wasn't until like maybe 3 days ago I was sitting down and Derrick Henry was putting on his helmet and I forgot he was wearing the Ravens helmet. And I was like, oh snap. And I was like, that's right. This guy's playing for the Ravens now. So I think that's extremely interesting right there. I think it's gonna take a whole lot, and we spoke about it before. It's gonna take a whole lot of pressure from Lamar.
So I think for that sole reason right there, the threat, and again, they they might have been a player away from winning it all last year at home to against the Chiefs. So I think the Ravens. I think the Ravens.
I'm gonna go with a healthy Joe Burrow in the Bengals.
Hey, but hey, you stuck on Joe, bro.
Hey,
You stuck on Joe.
I'm a Joe fan, bro. Because let me tell you, there's one he doesn't get rattled. That's the thing. He doesn't get rattled. I think we can all agree this past postseason, the Chiefs manhandled these people, not just physically, but mentally. Like, come on, bro. See, this is Baltimore Ravens, right? They got people on their team that looks like they should be in the penitentiary. No offense to nobody. I'm just saying they're gritty and grimy. They get down, they hit. And you got Kelsey talking trash and you allow it. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. One thing I like about Antonio Pierce with the Raiders is he said when Max Crosby hit Mahomes and got the flag, he told Max Crosby, "You keep hitting him," and that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? They went into Baltimore. Baltimore had a whole TV series on HBO, The Wire. They thugs out there. It's gangster. It's official tip referee whistle. And then you go in there and they get Debo. They get punked. You're right. The Ravens should have beat them last year. But you got the Bengals. Bengals been in Arrowhead. And let's be honest, that last time they lost to him in the AFC Championship, that was Burrow making bad decisions on the throw. If he don't throw those picks into double coverage of Jamar Chase forcing the ball, they would have won that game. He's come back down, 3 touchdowns they've been down to the Chiefs and come back and win? That's why I go with Joe. But the reason I brought it up is, what about the Texans? Do y'all think the Texans upset? I mean, you got Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. You got Mixon now. CJ Stroud's a good quarterback. You know, he might improve this year. The defense is good. They added more pieces. Do you think they're a sleeper? I'm gonna go with Pete first because
sleeper, yeah. But again, like I said, the sleeper for me is not really the sleeper because I'm just more curious to see how that comes together because last year Aaron Rodgers only had 4 plays, so I'm curious to see what it is now. Like, you know, let's see it. You know, Aaron Rodgers, all this attention's on Aaron Rodgers because he went to Egypt instead of camp, and they got a lot to say. So I want to see. It's like I'm waiting for this movie, yo. I want to see this movie now already. I want to see if it's any good. That's for me. That's the Jets. The Jets for me is the must see TV this year. But a sleeper, yeah, you know, you could say the Texans because of how they played last year. But it's still fresh, so it's still TBD for me on the Texans.
You know what's crazy, Pete, to comment on yours before I go to June. You know what, the Jets, you know why I don't want to get too hyped up on the Jets?
Yes or no?
Because I need to see the first few games.
Yeah, same here.
Hasn't thrown for like 300 yards in a couple of years in the game. So I don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? But June, do you think the Texans are a sleeper or no?
I don't think that they're a sleeper anymore. I think that they were a sleeper last year. But I think with all the key pieces, especially with Stephon Diggs and with Mixon, I think those 2 key pieces alone, they don't become sleepers anymore. I think they become more so expectations, you know. And so no, I don't think they're sleepers anymore. I think they have expectations to where they can become contenders. So so no, I don't think they're sleepers. I think maybe a crazy sleeper, I think could be the Browns, and I'll leave it right there, you know, and I'll leave it based on the quarterback play.
Okay, I got you. All right, man. So the last question, I'm gonna go around the board real quick. I know it's preseason starting now. I just want to get everybody's take on it. So I'm gonna start with June. I just want to know who you think are going to be the division leaders. If you had to pick today, East Division, who you going with?
Right. Yeah. Let me look at the things right here, bro.
So while you look that up,
God.
I'm gonna go first, right? So it gives y'all time to look up. I think the AFC East, you know what, Pete, I'm gonna go. I think the Jets are gonna take it, man. I think with that defense and the pieces they got, they can play in the winter. So it doesn't matter if they have to travel to Buffalo or not. Unlike the Dolphins that can't play in the winter, I'm gonna go Jets.
That's good.
AFC South, I'm going Texans.
No,
The West, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs because they're the reigning champs.
I
And
drink
the
water
North,
all
I'm
day.
gonna go Bengals. AFC, NFC
No,
East,
you're not talking. It's so good.
I'm gonna go Eagles. North, I'm gonna go Detroit. South, I'm gonna go Falcons. And West, I am going to go when it comes to me. When it comes to me, I'm 49ers. 49ers. That's my take. So whoever's ready to go, y'all can go first. I'll go next.
You ready, June? Or
Nah, he's still looking. Hey,
all
June.
right, so I'll go. I'll start AFC. I'm gonna go Buffalo. AFC East, Buffalo.
Okay.
AFC North. For me, I believe it's two teams, Cleveland and Baltimore, and I'm gonna go with the Ravens. AFC South. For me, between two teams as well, Texans and Colts, and I'm gonna go Texans. AFC West is Kansas City. That's the easiest one that I think that's out here. I think if you pick anybody else, I think you're bugging because
Smoking crack, bro. You're smoking crack. Just stop hitting that shit.
I know the Chargers got but look at Denver and Vegas. The Chargers got Harbaugh, but I don't think they're still gonna on the level of Kansas City right now.
Herbert just got injured, so he's out. He's not even going to play preseason at all. They want him to be ready to go by week 1. He had plantar fasciitis on his right foot.
So NFC East, Philly, NFC North. I'm gonna go with the Lions. NFC South, Atlanta. NFC West, the Rams.
Wow, you think the Rams going to overthrow the 49ers?
Yeah.
Woo, that's good. June, what's up, baby? Let's go.
Hangover.
Oh yeah. My bad. I'm ready, man. You know, I was checking out, but all right, I'll see you right now. I'm in the car now at peace. I'll go with the North. With the North, I would go with the Ravens. With the South, I go with the Texans. With the West, I go with the Chiefs. With the East, I go with the Birds. Bird gang. With the North, I go with the Lions. With the South, I go with the Bucks. And the West, I go with the Niners.
Okay. You know, we actually under an hour. I'm looking at the time, and we didn't start on time. So, that's good though. That's good. That's good. Hey, real quick, man. June put this out before. It's not really a talking point, just more informative. Judge Philip Gutierrez has overturned a $4.7 billion judgment against the NFL with the Sunday ticket. So I wonder what happened there. I wonder whose pockets got greased up real good, because that's a lot of money. I was looking into. I had Sunday ticket since forever, since I was on the Roosevelt back in 2008. So, I was trying to get paid too. But with that being said, man, I mean, injuries. DeAndre Hopkins is out. They expect him to miss 4 weeks at least.
Yep.
With a knee injury. Justin Herbert just got plantar fasciitis on his right foot, so they want him to wear a boot. He can't practice to do anything, but they hope he can be back week 1. I think that's going to set them back drastically because of the lack of preparation. But Harbaugh's there, and I think that he can come up with a plan. They don't play the Chiefs, I think, until week 5. So I think they can survive. They got the Raiders between that, so I think they can survive some of that. Yeah, man. So that's all I got, bro. Anyway, games going on. These guys are playing their butts off. Browns. The Bears just scored, so it's gonna be 7-10. Texans winning. For me, another great episode. Next week we're gonna do it again. Pete, go ahead. Your thoughts?
Officially, football's back. Fantasy is back. So this is like exciting time of the year. The build up for the fantasy season and the regular season. Say goodbye to your families and your kids because football's back.
June.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with what Pete said. And really quick, I don't want to drag this onto a huge talking point, but I did post on the chat something that USA Today posted, because USA Today they ranked their top 10 worst coaches in the NFL. And me personally, I mean, I don't agree with one of them. And I want to, if you had to disagree with one of them, or two of them, who would they be?
You want me to go first or Pete?
Yeah. Sure, we'll go with you, Frank.
I don't agree with number 3. Gerard Mayo is his first year, so I don't agree with it. We don't know what he's gonna do. Brian Daboll, he only had one bad year. That was last year, I think, right? The year before that, he went to the playoffs. No, he had 2 bad years.
No, yeah, you're right. This is his third year.
Yeah, so he's
I
only
don't,
had
I
one
don't
bad
understand
year.
it. Yeah, I
Yes,
don't
that's
understand.
stupid. And after watching Hard Knocks, the dude's a genius. So I don't see what the problem is. So number 3, I don't agree with. Number 4, I don't agree with. And number 8, right? Number 8, I don't agree with because Antonio Pierce changed the mind, the spirit of that team. And I think we got to give him a full season at the head coach. And remember, they still don't really have a quarterback. They still don't have a quarterback. So I don't think that's fair. The rest of them you can leave there. I'm not too far. Canales, he's building the Panthers up. That's not fair to, give these people that. And Mike McDonald, I think this is his first year, right? Because
Yeah, he just got hired. Like, I don't understand.
This is bullshit, bro. Let's talk about people that's been in the team for more than 3-4 years. Okay? That's like, Salah on the Jets. They drafted Zach Wilson. It didn't go the way he wanted to go. So yeah, you can put him on a hot seat, but he's a defensive coordinator. Brian Callahan just took over the Titans.
These are all new coaches, yeah. Except Todd Bowles is not new. Salah, Dable, Eberflus, and Dennis Allen are not new. All the rest of them are new.
Yeah, look, I don't agree with this list, man. Whoever made this, they need to fire them. That's what I'm saying. The whole shit is bogus, bro. Like, let's talk about court. Come on, man. Come on. Bro, really?
Yeah, I seen it, and I couldn't help myself. I had to
June
post
set
it.
us up,
And,
Pete, because we didn't have time to research the head coaches. So we ain't here thinking like, oh yeah, this is not. But hold on, we start peeling the onion back. These mothers ain't even started a whole year yet. No, let's go. Let's wait, man. Let's wait and see what's up. Really, how many great head coaches are there out there right now?
It's
Andy
not
Reid at
easy,
the
man.
top?
It's not easy to find the good.
No.
It's not easy to get the everything perfect. Like you see, look at the Chiefs. They got the head coach. They got the quarterback right, and they're set. It's not easy to get that combination
No,
correct.
it's not, bro. Listen, Andy Reid's a great coach. People think I don't like him. It's not that I don't like him.
I think you don't like them.
No, I do. I don't have a problem with him, bro. I just feel like don't compare him to Belichick. Just don't. Leave Belichick alone. Andy Reid could be a great coach in his own right. You know what I'm saying? They could both be great head coaches. They both accomplishing something that wasn't done before, right? So you got to think the standard is Belichick, 6 Super Bowls. Andy Reid, until he got to the Chiefs, wasn't winning nothing and lost to Belichick in the Super Bowl. So it's one of those things where it's like, there's nothing wrong with saying that he's great and arguably probably one of the greatest offensive coordinators of all time by what he's doing on that team. He has the pulse of the team. The offensive line needed to get rebuilt. He rebuilt it. They needed to get weapons. He pivoted on the schemes. People thought it was what's our boy that left him and went to Washington. Now he's coaching college. Bieniemy.
Bieniemy.
So does Bieniemy. Where's Bieniemy at now? So I don't know. But anyway, look, we're gonna end it right now because we like to keep it to a certain time set to keep the viewers coming back for more. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, Turn on your notifications. Go out and support us. You know what? We'll take the time out to do this and make it do what it do. This is Offsides Podcast. Thank you for listening and tune in. See you next week. Peace.